So we are in Senate District 17 on the west side of Houston. This place means a lot to me. It means that there was an ending of one thing and the beginning of something else. This is where I unfortunately lost the last living parent of mine, my grandmother. My mother died when I was 13 years old, and so I ended up being raised by my grandparents. We're sitting on the stairwell next to my old apartment. The apartment where my grandmother, my brother, my grandmother, and myself lived. Sitting in this spot is very significant because this is the spot I sat in when I said goodbye to my grandmother before her funeral. It was kind of this finality. My grandmother was my last parent in essence, and the last kind of part of that foundation. And so for her to be gone, it meant that we were truly, truly on our own. You know, I worked at a barbecue restaurant down the street. You know, I used to catch the bus here, walk down a long street to get home. You know, people said, you always have potential. Fran, you have potential. And I would always be asked to become a manager at the restaurant, and it couldn't happen. It wasn't until someone confided in me and told me that I could get a GED because they got a GED and became a manager. And so that's what I pursued. And I told my grandmother I was going to do that. And so I stayed in this space, in these apartments. I stayed up late at night. I worked the night shift at the restaurant, and I would stay up at night to study for my GED exam. And I took the bus from here to the University of Houston downtown to take my GED test. A few months later, I was told that my scores would qualify me for a scholarship. And 3 months later, I was sitting in an introduction to psychology class, and 4.5 years later, I was graduating with honors with a degree in psychology. So this was a space that started a lot. So the emotion is overwhelming because it was this tragedy and this triumph and this catalyst to start a journey that I didn't even imagine. I'm running for office because I believe that everyone should have equal access to the opportunity to succeed. And I know that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. My past fuels what's going on now because I had to kind of crawl my way back and move through this bumpy road to get where I am today. And I know that if we have a support system, if there are folks in place that are ushering us into success, then we can succeed. As we know, where I am now, to be in front of you today, it took persistence. And it's going to take persistence to ensure that we are fighting for every Texan. And that's what I want to do. I want to fight for every Texan.